Gemini, what is up, y'all? What is good with you? Time for your weekly check-in. We're going to see what's happening with you guys in the 4th week of August. Weekly check-ins are just a short, quick, general, energetic overview. If you need a personal reading, you can always go straight to my website, tarotwithrich.com. But there's a link for that right down here in the description of this video, okay? All right. Let's see what we can tell you about your situation and the person you're dealing with in the 4th week of August. How's the energy looking for Gemini in the 4th week of August, universe? How's it looking? How's it looking? How's it looking? Gemini in the 4th week of August. How's it looking? Oh, 2 of Wands reversed. 7 of Swords straight out the gate. All right. Well, a decision is being made. Well, this one's tough to say. A decision is being made, but it's not an easy decision to make. I don't know, are you catching this person like in a lie? Or are you just finally coming to your senses? I don't even know how to word this because it's kind of paradoxical, you know? It's like you're making the decision in your mind that you need to move on from this, but making yourself actually do it is extremely difficult. If you're dealing with somebody you haven't been in communication with, it's looking like there might be communication. And maybe that's where you come to the conclusion that this is somebody who cannot be trusted. So in your mind, it's like, yup, fuck it, I don't need this in my life. But, how do I move on from this? You know? Internal mental battle. 2 cars with their rear bumpers tied together, driving in opposite directions. It's like your twins, your Gemini twins are duking it out. But here's the thing. It's like both twins agree that this is not somebody we need in our life. But for some reason, one twin's still trying to make excuses. And the other one ain't trying to hear it. It looks like you got a battle going on. Man, King of Swords reversed and 7 of Swords. Don't get me started on that. Let's go ahead and see this person's feelings, energies, and intentions at the deepest level before I say anything about their energy. Let's just go ahead and see how it looks. Hey, there's a chance that you could just be tripping. It's possible. It happens. I do see that from time to time. What's this person's truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? Person Gemini's dealing with Hangman. 3 shuffles. There's 1, 2, and 3. Boom, boom. Ace of Pentacles. Empress reversed. Okay. 7 of Swords again. So I think you're pretty much on point. I mean, this person does have feelings for you, right? And maybe that's what's making it so difficult. Because you pretty well know they do have feelings for you. But you also know that this person can't really be trusted. So at what point, like I say, whenever I read feelings, energies, and intentions, the biggest thing that I'm doing is giving you the information you need to make your own decision as to whether or not you want to excuse shitty behavior. Right? So if I know that you really love me, is that enough to let your bullshit slide? Is it? Surprisingly, to a lot of people, it is. You know, and maybe I feel like I hate to get too specific here, but it feels like for a lot of you that is something along the lines of the internal mental battle that you are experiencing. I know that they can't be trusted, but I know that they do have feelings for me and they care about me and this and that and whoop-de-whoop. And that's where the battle is coming in. Honestly, I don't think there's a whole lot you don't know about this person. Nothing that you need to know. There's nothing that you need to know about this person that you don't know. Yeah, they have feelings for you, but no, they can't really be trusted. They don't discriminate. At the end of the day, this is the type of individual that will pretty much throw anybody under the bus to save their own ass. And to save their own ass from what is the question. You know? So, yeah. I don't think there's a lot you need to hear about this person that you don't know. I don't think so. They don't want to let you in either. They're very guarded. Very guarded. They ain't trying to let you anywhere near this thing here. You know? Why? I don't know. Don't ask me. Okay. Well, that's about all I can get out of that. Let's grab some advice then. Could be an Aquarius. Let's see who I got here. I got Aquarius, Pisces, Taurus, Taurus again, Sagittarius. Could be anybody. Those are just energies. Let's grab the advice. What's the advice for Gemini? Ooh, 4 cups. Okay. Here's what I will say. You know you're at a crossroads with this situation. You have 2 paths that you could choose from. Path A, path B. Both paths are painful. You have the path of change and the path of staying the same. The path of repeating the cycle. And they both have their own pain attached to them. I guess you have to ask which pain you want to endure. Do you want to endure the pain of change? Or do you want to endure the pain of staying the same? Some people out there would rather endure predictable pain than unpredictable pain, right? They would rather do what they are familiar with. Well, check this out. The pain of change is temporary. It'll hurt for a little bit, but not forever. The pain of staying the same is permanent, though. So, yeah, it might be a little bit scarier. You know, they did this this little experiment once where they tested several hundred people. And do you know that most people, if stranded on a desert island, imagine this, you're stranded on a desert island and you know you're going to die. How many people would take off swimming to maybe try to find some help? You know, upwards of 90% of people said they would not. They would rather sit on a desert island knowing they're going to die than to take off out into the vast unknown where you don't know. Maybe there's a fucking landmass just right over the bend over there. Maybe you'll run into a boat. Maybe a helicopter will see you. There's a chance that you could get help. You don't know, though. Most people would rather stay where they can predict what's going to happen than to leap out into the vast unknown. You know? And that's just kind of the way we're wired. The unknown is scary. It's scary. But when it comes to breaking a cycle like this, yeah, leaping out into the unknown might be scary. And for the moment, it might be even a little bit more painful. But it's temporary. That's all I'm going to say. At the end of the day, I can't tell you what you should do in a situation like this because you're not going to do what you're not ready to do. And when you're ready, that's when the pain of repeating the cycle outweighs the pain of change. Right? When you just keep getting stabbed in the heart so many fucking times, I would rather experience the pain of change than take one more knife to the heart. I can't do that again. And until you get to that point, nobody can make you get to that point. It doesn't matter what I tell you or what anybody else tells you. You're not going to get to that point until you're ready. So take that info and do with it what you will. All right, let's see what's due to come in next for the singles. What's coming in next for the single Geminis, universe? What's coming in next for single Geminis? Do. Six of Wands reverse. Ooh, World card, yeah. Entering into a whole new cycle. Now, some of you, part of your path is a solo journey. So for those of you who have been single for a while, that hasn't been by accident. That's been part of your path. Those of you who have been trying to meet new people and you just can't fucking meet nobody, or anybody you do meet is just fucking terrible, you know, that's part of your path. And I do think that a lot of you, and you'll know who you are when I say that, a solo journey is part of your path, a very important part of your path, because you're entering into a whole new cycle. The next person that you connect with is going to be so unlike anyone you've ever dealt with before that you wouldn't even be able to paint it up in your imagination. And you'll be unlike anybody they have ever dealt with before. It's going to be a whole new cycle all the way around. The dynamics of everything is going to be different. I could probably even go as far as to say the next person you connect with won't even be your type. And that's a good thing, believe it or not. That's a good thing. If you ever notice, have any of you ever seen like a really healthy, happy couple? A really successful pair of divine life partners? They don't even really have to be divine life partners, but you ever see like a really genuine, successful, happy couple? They're hard to come by, I know. I'm not just talking about a couple that's been together for a long ass time. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not the same thing. I'm talking about one of those real happy, successful couples. Have you ever met one? If you ever get the chance to meet one, ask them. Ask them to tell you some things, especially when it comes to how they met and stuff like that. Everyone I've ever met, every one of them, not most of them, not the vast majority of them, every single truly, genuinely successful, happy couple I have ever met all says the same thing. They're not even my type. Every one of them. And if you think about it, that makes fucking sense. If your type was the type of person who aligned with your highest good, you wouldn't have had so many failed relationships. You would have met your person a long time ago. If your type always ends the same way, well, then maybe there's something in your type that you don't need. Now, don't get me started on that. That's a very nuanced and convoluted subject that would take a long time to break down psychologically and what. It's all psychological shit. But anyway, yeah, I think this is more than likely going to be somebody that's not even your type. So talk about when you least expect it. You know, I'll always tell you that you meet your person when you least expect it. And I could sit and talk for an hour behind why it happens that way. But here's one of the reasons. one of the many, many reasons is this person isn't even your type. So you talk about when you least expect it, they ain't even your fucking type. You definitely ain't fucking expecting that. Could be an Aries for some of you. Let's see their energy, feelings, intentions. What kind of person are they in general? What's going on with this individual energetically? Ooh, could be a Cancer for some of you. Got that Chariot. Hang on a second. Okay. Well, I think one of the first things that you're going to notice about this individual is that they are an open book. They're an open book. But, you know, that can be touchy because most of the time it seems like when you meet somebody who is an open book, have you ever noticed that the people who tend to be the most open and honest, for some reason, it always seems like those people tend to be very, like, unstable. Have you ever noticed that? You ever notice that? Not everybody, but a lot. I think the majority of the people that you meet who are the most open and honest and authentic seem to kind of be a little bit unstable, a little bit of a loose cannon, you know? And this is one of those people who it's maybe a little bit surprising because they're not like that. This person's very calm, very cool, very collected, but an open book at the same time. Very solid, very rock solid individual. King of Swords and King of Pentacles. Very, very rock solid. But at the same time, it's not like they're just a stuffed sweater. They also have a fun, goofy side to them. You know? 2 kings. Oh, wait a minute. I got 3 kings here. I'm sorry. We got King of Wands, Swords, and Pentacles. And 2 pages. So they have a little fun, goofy, childish side to them. But at the same time, you know, very, very solid, stern. You know, not playing no games. Not here to waste your time. I don't know if now when the 2 of you very, very, very first connect, I don't think they're actively out there looking for a person to settle down with. I don't think that's at the top of their priority list. But that doesn't mean that they're closed off to the idea, especially if they meet someone in which they really, really think that the likelihood of a successful partnership is on the books, on the table, you know. They wouldn't be opposed to it. They're just opposed to wasting their time. They're opposed to playing games. You know, they're not afraid of being alone. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That is a good thing. Could be a Saggy for some of you. Who do I got here? I got Saggy, Taurus, Cancer, Pisces. Okay. Now, let's see how it plays out for the first 60 days. How's it playing out? For the first 60 days. Do-do-do. Starting a whole new cycle. So when you start a whole new cycle like this, the first 60 to 90 days can be a little bit nerve-wracking. Kind of going back to what we were talking about a minute ago, where it's the unknown. It's just the unknown. Even if I do feel a real solid connection with you, and I have faith and trust in you, still, this is all so new to me. You know, like say you meet somebody who's in a totally different, like, social class than anybody you've ever dealt with before. I'm not used to being around these kinds of people, and everybody's just accepting me at what? This is new to me. I don't know how to function. I don't know. It's weird. That's part of the path. Oh, and especially part of the manifestation path. Oh, yeah, man. Because I know there's some of you out there working on manifesting big things. How weird do you think it's going to feel if you're one of those people who's always been born into and brought up in poverty, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in all these high-class places around all these upper class groups of people? It feels fucking weird. It's scary as fuck. I remember when it happened to me, it gave me panic attacks. It gave me panic attacks. I'm like, what am I doing here? I don't know how to function in this environment. What the fuck is this? This is weird. So similarly, I'm not saying like that it's going to be like good or bad or better than or this or that, but it's so different. The situation you found yourself in, everything is so different than anything that you've ever been familiar with that it's scary. It's going to be weird. It might leave you with feelings of like restlessness and feeling uneasy and a little bit nervous, like I don't know what the fuck to do here. But other than that, I mean, Ace of Cups, the underlying feeling, you'll be able to tell that, well, this is my new norm. It's just going to take a minute for me to get used to all this, So that's normal. That's normal. Any advice? Any advice? Hey, 6 of Wands. Like I said, the pain of change is temporary. The pain of staying the same is permanent. You know how they always tell you to step outside of your comfort zone, right? You always hear that. Well, let's take that a little bit further. Okay? Step outside of your comfort zone, and then what? Then what? Well, this is the part they don't tell you. If you step outside of your comfort zone and stay there, this new territory will eventually become your comfort zone. That's what they don't really talk about. And that's what I think scares people away from stepping outside of their comfort zone, because they think, well, if I step outside of my comfort zone, I'm just going to be uncomfortable my whole fucking life. No. You step outside of your comfort zone and stay there. Eventually, it becomes comfortable. Then you step outside of that comfort zone and stay there. And eventually, it becomes comfortable. If you can imagine that your comfort zone is like a dome. Imagine it's this little dome that you're inside of. And then you step outside of it and you stay there. The dome will expand and get bigger. Your comfort zone will get bigger. And then you step outside of that, it gets bigger. And then you step outside of that, it gets bigger. Before you know it, dude, you're a totally different person before you know it. So just know that, when you step into new territory outside of your comfort zone, and it's going to feel funny at first, but you'll get used to it. You'll get comfortable with it. You have to allow yourself the time for your brain to unwire your old comfort zone and rewire a new comfort zone. See what I'm saying? So just stick with it. Don't run back to the comfort zone. The comfort zone will come find you. You have to be more stubborn than your comfort zone. Okay? All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my Gemini family needed to hear, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, information for personal readings is all down here in the description of the video, all right? I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now